You're listening to the Ecosystem Approach show. I'm Jason.
And I'm Patricia. Tune in every Monday at 1 p.m. Pacific Time and 4 p.m. Eastern Time on Transformation Talk Radio.
We discovered that human potential is severely limited when you program humans like a machine, which is standard practice today for self-improvement.
The ecosystem approach teaches you how to uncover your infinite potential by using natural methods that are truly revolutionary. Join us now for the Ecosystem Approach show. Have you ever gained weight back after losing it? What if I told you it's not about willpower? Today's show is about the energy of diets. You haven't heard this one before. This is the Ecosystem Approach show. I'm Patricia, and I'm here with my husband, Jason. We use an ecosystem approach to you, which is much different than what you are commonly taught. We see human beings as ecosystems that need to be uncovered instead of programmed. Human potential becomes infinite with our ecosystem approach. Okay, Jason, what does energy have to do with weight and diets?
You know, the biggest misconception about weights and diets and weight is that it's about willpower and what you eat and about nutrition.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's those three things are related, but it's not the most important.
Okay.
And this is what we see as intuitives.
All right.
We see that food is used as a coping mechanism for difficult emotions.
Right.
And in our world today, we don't have a lot of options to deal with our difficult emotions. People say you can talk about your feelings. Well, there are a lot of people, usually men, who don't want to talk about their feelings.
Yeah.
And we see this as intuitives. There are some people that talk about their feelings all the time, and they're not. That process of talking about your feelings does not
Get rid of them.
get rid of them. We'll say that again. It doesn't get rid of those negative emotions. That's why we created the ecosystem approach, because it's a way of dealing with your negative emotions in a way that's effective.
Exactly. So, Jason, I know, and I want the audience to know that emotions are energies, and, they continue even when you no longer feel them.
That's one of the biggest misconceptions. Well, I don't feel angry anymore. I don't feel fear anymore. I don't feel traumatized.
Wait a minute. I just feel fat and old and ugly.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We see this all the time. If you were able to see the energy of fat cells on your body.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh,
you see emotions. You don't see that. It's not like it's neutral energy. They definitely are filled with anger and bitterness and rage and hate and fear and trauma and you name it. And so when people say that I'm going to lose some weight and they haven't dealt with those things, it's sort of like
saying I'm going to spend money and throw it away. I'm going to burn it.
Yeah, or I'm going to paddle upstream, or all those other
Well, I was
metaphors.
thinking of something else, but anyway. But I actually have a story, and this is very personal to me about the energy of, quote, diets and weight. And by the way, for those of you who are new to the show, I have vast experience in aerobics, land aerobics, water aerobics, and also exercise, lots of dancing and that sort of thing. In fact, I dance every single day. I know that sounds a little what? Yeah, but I do. I actually dance almost every day. I'll say it that way. But the story that I have has to do with that I have in my lifetime, I've had a lot of drama, trauma, chaos, all those things. And if you want to know anything about that, just listen to all of our past shows and you'll hear a lot about that stuff. The biggest thing that I've seen connected to weight and feeling ugly and old is the energy of hate. I have this thing that I do, I collect it. And where do I collect it? And that's a kind of a rhetorical question. I collect it around my middle. I collect it around my waist. I can be exercising like I do on a regular basis, and I'll notice that my pants are getting tighter. Well, does my fanny look big in these jeans type thing? And the bottom line is yeah, I'm pretty good at what I do. And so I started looking at why, if I'm eating all the right things, if I'm doing all the right exercises, that sort of thing. Why am I gaining weight? Or why do I have this addiction to sugar? And by the way, one is one and one is another. And the point I'm getting at is I looked to see what the energy was for me as to why I was gaining weight or gaining inches.
Now, you should tell everybody that this hate comes from your childhood, your emotional story.
Okay.
That is about,
that's a really good point, Jason.
Being the Cinderella of your family, right, where you were pushed to the back and to take care of everybody. And, you were the supposedly the black sheep.
Yes, definitely. Of the family. Absolutely.
And that hate still comes up.
Well, and the irony is like I said, the drama and the chaos and all of those things, we think that when we're not feeling them anymore, that they just go away. Well, I'm here to tell you they don't. And the hate energy actually stores in our cells, like Jason was saying. And by the way, I'm just using hate. Hate might not be what you collect.
Could be anger.
It could be fear. It could
trauma.
And it could be all of the above and more. And the point is that when you start to know your story, then you can start to see that there's kind of a theme that goes through. Anger and hate are my two big ones right there. And so go ahead. You were going to say something.
What people don't understand is that in our world today, what do you do with when your negative emotions come up? Well,
right,
you either program them away, which doesn't get them rid of them at all.
Right.
Programming is where you literally ignore them,
mm-hmm,
force yourself to do what your emotions don't
or
want you to do.
Or program yourself to think a different way, that kind of thing.
Yeah, think this way or think that way.
Right,
that's just programming. Or seducing yourself. Well, if you do this, then you'll give yourself a reward.
Exactly.
Or some sort of trick, you know, where you don't.
And by the way, I've used them all.
Yep. And all those things don't change the energy of those negative emotions. And it's those negative emotions that's the root of the difficulty
that you connect with in your life. And we're starting right now, or we're talking about it right now as a physical thing.
And most people, and they don't get this, but food is our drug to calm those negative emotions.
Exactly.
But it's just like a drug because you have that Suzy Q or that ho-ho or what Patricia likes is the M&M. That'll give you
I hate it when he tells my secrets.
That'll help for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, but then you want it even more. You want even more to calm those feelings. It doesn't work. No wonder diets don't work.
Exactly.
No wonder the United States in general is so obese,
exactly,
as a country.
Exactly.
Of course, yes, the nutrition is poor. Yes, processed food is not good. Yes, you have to understand nutrition and all those other things. And
we're not denying any of that.
Yes.
At all.
But we have all that, and we still know that it's our emotions that are the primary driver to have too much weight or not enough.
Exactly. And so back to my story, one of the things that I found is that when I realized when those pants are getting too tight, yes, I have not been clearing the right things. And there's a key right there. And then also that I'm ignoring what's going on. I'm either trying to get something done or I'm stuck in something or, things happen. Life happens. What I have discovered is that when I start feeling that bulge, so to speak, that if I look at what the energy is, and usually, like I said, it's the energy of hate for me and anger, they get stuck in my cells. But if I sit down for 5 minutes and do some clearing and then continue to clear throughout the day, and then right before I go to sleep, I'll do it again. I'll to eliminate all the negative energy of hate that I'm holding on to around my center, around my even my heart, that kind of thing. And what I notice is, and by the way, I don't change what I eat. The next day I wake up and I feel lighter right out of the gate. And I have seen myself actually lose as many as 5 pounds But remember, I've been doing this a long time, but I've seen the loss of 5 pounds by doing that.
So, and I hear people in the audience, they're screaming at me right now that, there was a show a while back called The Biggest Loser. And what I'm hearing from the audience right now is, that sounds way too hard. I need to lose this weight now.
Right.
I've had this weight for way too long. I need to get rid of it right now.
Right.
Well, The Biggest Loser, you had someone yell at you and scream at you, and these people were dedicated
and they were controlling your everything you ate,
move
that you made,
and forced you to exercise, and people lost weight doing it that way.
Well, of course they did,
but that's programming. And the problem is, as soon as you take away the guy screaming at you or the woman screaming at you,
exactly,
what do you do?
Well, and the statistic is, and I believe this is correct, but I could be off by a bit, that 93% of the people that have done The Biggest Loser have gained not only all the weight that they lost back, but they've also gained more back.
Yeah.
That's
because of your emotions.
That's because they're not getting rid of the emotions.
And frankly, having been through boot camp myself, the real boot camp, when someone screams at you, it's not therapeutic. It's not like, it doesn't feel better afterwards.
Jason, what are the key points of this segment?
We use food as a coping mechanism for our negative and overwhelming emotions. Programming teaches you to force, manipulate, trick, or seduce yourself into overcoming your emotions, but that doesn't get rid of them.
Negative emotions?
Yeah. It doesn't work with the energy of those feelings, and those feelings continue. So negative emotions are energies that build up over time, and eating is a bad way to calm them. And the ecosystem approach teaches you effectively reduce the buildup of negative emotions rather than eating them.
Right. And actually, in the next segment, we're also going to talk about, I have a story about eating them. So in the next segment, we're going to talk about the reasons diets fail and the reason your diet is what? Doomed. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.
Learn how to lead a happier life on Miles to Go with Brittany Miles. How to lose to gain it all. Join Brittany every second and fourth Wednesday at 1 p.m. Pacific on TransformationTalkRadio.com. Listen as coach and healer Brittany Miles shares stories that teach you about surrender. For more information about Brittany, milestogocoaching.com.
Miss any shows during the week? Don't worry, we've got you covered. With the free Transformation Talk Radio app, you'll have access to all of the past week's shows in the palm of your hand. Tune in to Transformation Talk Radio anywhere you go with our free app for any of your devices. Check out our app in the App Store and Google Play Store today.
Tune in to The Truth is Funny with Colette Steffen each Wednesday at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern on TransformationTalkRadio.com. This hit show will have you thinking outside the box and riding the wave of infinite potential. Join Colette on the Higher Self Network, inspiring listeners to shine their brilliance and ensure success while roaring with laughter as they recognize the humor of the giant cosmic joke. Visit thetruthisfunny.com.
Did you know that when we talk about the Earth's ecosystems, the most important ecosystem has been left out? We created the ecosystem approach to recapture human potential.
Find us at theecosystemapproach.org.
Join us every Monday at 1 p.m. Pacific Time and 4 p.m. Eastern Time for the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia on TransformationTalkRadio.com.
Tune in to The Jen Royster Show, intuitive guidance to inspire your life, each Thursday at 8 a.m. Pacific and 11 a.m. Eastern on TransformationTalkRadio.com. This amazing show is an inspirational hour that will take you on an epic metaphysical journey to discover the spiritual approach to life's greatest challenges. Dr. Jen is an internationally known intuitive counselor, spiritual teacher, and energy healer. Call in for intuitive readings and visit JenRoyster.com for more information.
Stuck in a roundabout of dysfunction? Learn how to speak your truth to power with host Dr. Kathy Obear. Create real change with smart tools and smart strategies. No frills, no fluff, just life-changing conversations to help get you where you want to be. Extend your reach and become an agent for real change with Kathy Obear. For more information on Kathy and her work, please visit drkathyobear.com. That's drkathyobear.com.
This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason, and I'm Patricia. In this segment, we're going to talk about the reasons diets fail and the reason your diet is doomed. We use an ecosystem approach to you, which is much different than what you are commonly taught. We see human beings as ecosystems that need to be uncovered instead of programmed. Human potential becomes infinite with our ecosystem approach. Okay. What do you mean, Jason, the reasons diets fail? You know, is it because someone doesn't have enough willpower?
That's what everybody thinks.
Right.
If you're trying to diet only using willpower, you're doomed to fail.
Mm-hmm.
Willpower is finite, and you have only so much available to you. Now, a lot of the experts out there, and I'm using air quotes, say, well, you have to develop good habits and ways of eating. And I don't disagree with that. But developing good habits is code for programming.
Exactly.
You know, it's forcing you to eat a different way until you get so accustomed to it that you just kind of do it the same way over and over again.
Right.
And it doesn't get rid of those negative emotions that we were just talking about. So here's what we need to say, because this is all part of the ecosystem approach and why we as intuitives have special insights. And that is, we see that willpower is contrary to the way humans are designed. You know, when we look in the natural world, we don't see animals using willpower. They just go by their instincts. They just are. Yeah, they go by their instincts. Mm-hmm. And the body has the desire to be healthy naturally and doesn't need willpower to be healthy that way.
Okay.
So I'm saying to you, everybody in the audience right now, I'm saying to you, your body naturally wants to be healthy, and you don't have to use any willpower to get it there necessarily. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now, sometimes I concede that sometimes people need to use willpower as a slight bridge, but if you're using a huge amount of willpower, it's doomed to fail.
Well, because the problem is that willpower doesn't have any legs to stand on.
Yes.
Let's just say it that way. And then willpower uses negative emotions to abuse you.
Let me give an example.
Okay.
We live in Northern California, and you know, this is fire country, as you may have heard.
More than once, yeah.
And this year we were evacuated. There was a fire close by, and they said, get out. Well, if I was to completely go by my inner sense, I would have put my feet up and said, I don't want to leave, and just sat here. Right. I had to use willpower to get not only myself out the door,
but everybody else.
The dogs, my mom, who's got dementia and can't hear. You know, it was hard. And, you know, Patricia and I did it. We did a really good job, but we used willpower for that. Correct. That's an important thing. Yes. Yeah. You know, maybe you've been late to work 10 times and your boss say you're late one more time, you're fired. Well, yeah, use willpower to make sure you get to work on time. That makes sense. Yeah. The problem is that we do need willpower in this world today for certain things.
Sure.
But we only have so much of it. And your life has to be going pretty well in order for you to use willpower, a lot of willpower for your diet and exercise program. Right. And frankly, if one thing goes out of whack, you know, a bad relationship, a money difficulty, health difficulty, just normal day-to-day stress, a pandemic, getting sick, that can throw that willpower out of whack just in a second.
Exactly.
And that's why diets fail.
Exactly.
Stress is always present, and we don't have a way of dealing with those things other than what? Eating it.
Yeah, well, and so I just want to say one of the things that I've seen multiple people do is they'll be on this diet. And I'm just giving you an example because it can happen in many different situations, but they'll be on a diet, something stressful happens and they go, forget it. I'm going to go and I'm just going to eat a bag of chips or a bag of M&Ms or that gallon of ice cream. Yeah. That's exactly right. And the thing that is the most amazing, while they're doing all of that, they're saying either consciously, unconsciously, out loud or not, I shouldn't do this. I shouldn't be eating this. Oh, I'm going to pay the price. Oh, this is really bad for me. Oh, this tastes so good, but I'm going to pay the price. By the way, what's happening there is you're eating the energy of, I shouldn't do this. I'm going to pay the price. You're setting yourself up for more sabotage that makes you have to fight and use energy you don't need to use. Sometimes we do need a break. Sometimes we do need a treat. Absolutely. And by the way, we all know M&Ms is my go-to. But the bottom line is that as I know enough about nutrition to know that as much sugar as I would love to eat because my addiction is overwhelming, I clear my addiction. I work on it. And my addiction started when I was a kid. Go back to my story.
So I just spoke with a client the other day who lost weight using one of these popular programs out in the world today. And she was very successful. She lost, I think it was 30 pounds. It was
substantial.
Substantial. She's feeling great and she liked it. But now it's the sustainability. And she asked me before she started, because she knew it was what I call programming. And this is how I evaluated. I said, well, look at your life. Right now, you're pretty happy. There's no crises. There's no struggles. You've been clearing. We've been doing this clearing for at least 5 to 7 years already. And she has tools to use if these negative emotions come up. So she was very successful with this. Now she's starting to notice that the weight is creeping back.
Right.
So, she asked me about it the other day, and I said, well, we'll just keep clearing.
Right.
What's causing that weight gain creep? And we identified the emotions, and she's going to start clearing that. That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
That works. That really works.
Well, and that's basically what I was saying about clearing the hate thing.
Yes.
And by the way, this doesn't mean you have to hate yourself. You could hate a situation and still take on that negative energy.
I want to use ourselves as an example.
Okay.
We moved here 3 years ago. Now, this move was really stressful because we were in the Bay Area, San Francisco Bay Area, and we had been there for 20 years in the same place. So we had 20 years of crapola that we had, we collected. And then a few years before we moved, we assimilated my mom into the household
and her stuffola.
Yes, her stuff. And this is after my dad died. So that was a big change for us.
Mm-hmm.
And that change was stress. We moved here. We had help to do it. We paid movers, but that was really stressful because my mom at that point, she couldn't hear. She was beginning dementia, and it was difficult for her. So, and we had 2 dogs that it was difficult for them, although they love it here.
Yes, they do.
So even though it was stressful, even though we love it, we all love being here, it was still stressful.
Right.
Now, we've been trying for the last 3 years, trying to get our exercise program back. Patricia, you were doing water aerobics 4 days a week.
Right.
And so that
plus working on routines in the interim.
Plus, doing a normal workout in between those times.
Exactly.
So she was working out a lot, and she looked great. I've lost like 30 to 40 pounds, but I still need to lose another 20 or 30 pounds. And that's been a real struggle for both of us because we've gained weight since we've been here,
right?
Because of all the stress. Right. Now, not only do we have the stress of the move, But, this year, we help people every day. So we take on their stress in a way. We have the pandemic. We were evacuated this year. We tried to do our workouts, but we had our air quality, because of the fires, were so bad here that you shouldn't even go outside. Normally it's like, 5 to 10. It was 150, 200. It was really, really.
Oh, you're talking about the rate of the air quality.
The air quality was so bad. And then we had 100-degree temperature. We didn't want to take our dogs for a walk on asphalt that was 100 degrees. Yeah. So we have all these, they're little things, but these are stressors.
And they all build up.
We constantly, on a daily basis, I usually get up first. And if we don't get up early enough, then we don't have enough time for our early morning walk.
Right.
Which but then I'm always say, well, should I let my wife sleep a little 5 minutes? And sometimes it's a very selfish decision, because when she sleeps a little bit more,
she's a little happier.
It's better for me. That's
a whole nother show, everybody.
But it takes away from our exercise time.
Right.
We're always making these adjustments. And frankly, we've always prioritized our relationship with each other.
Absolutely.
Our happiness, our well-being, and over strict weight loss. And, physical fitness is really important to us. But, if we have to, skip a day or not do it as much as we normally do, we do that. And
we clear to not feel guilty. And we clear so that we can move the negative energies out of the way, so that the next day we can be up and at them.
The biggest self-sabotage is we see people trying to choose to lose weight when they have all these issues in their life. And we're thinking, oh my God, you're crazy.
Exactly. So Jason, what are the key points of this segment?
Willpower is finite and can easily be overcome with stress and negative emotions.
Mm-hmm.
It is very difficult to maintain willpower when there's stress and negative emotions going on in your life for all sorts of reasons.
Right.
You have to understand the totality of your situation to understand how willpower will fail you. And the ecosystem approach teaches you to sustain your health, well-being, and weight from your authentic self by treating yourself as an ecosystem as opposed to a machine.
In the next segment, we're going to talk about successful dieting and the biggest misconception about dieting. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.
The Knowledge Book, currently studied in 39 countries and 15 languages around the world, accelerates our evolution, takes us out of depression, offers universal truth, protects us, and makes us stronger, both spiritually and physically. So if you are interested in the Knowledge Book, visit usa.theknowledgebook.net and tune in to the Knowledge Book Radio with Marge Potasic on TransformationTalkRadio.com.
Hi, I'm Patricia McNair, host of Divine Guidance with Patricia, and I'm here to help you live a more authentic, spiritually connected life. Join me every first and third Wednesday at 9 a.m. Pacific on TransformationTalkRadio.com. Being who you are in everyday life is the key to unlocking soul wisdom within that our whole self already knows. Get ready to embrace your spiritual, mental, and emotional well-being, your whole being. Discover your gifts and strengthen your connection to spirit. We will explore earth guidance, divine truth and love, past life lessons, and so much more. So listen in to Divine Guidance with Patricia and join in your personal adventure to triggering, opening, validating, and being all that you are. For more information about me, visit divineguidance.earth.
Juggling life's relentless demands can leave us unbalanced and restless. Do you feel stuck in the overwhelm? Diane McClay is a personal empowerment coach, author, and compassionate storyteller on a mission to boost you into balance and help you move forward with passion and purpose. Get unstuck with Diane on The Diane McClay Show every second and fourth Friday at 1:30 p.m. Pacific on TransformationTalkRadio.com. For more information about Diane, visit DianeMcClay.com.
Hi, I'm Laura Goldstein, and here's a Coffee with the Universe tip. Let me ask you, how do you start your day? Do you wake up anxious and on edge, already feeling the pressure of your giant to-do list? Or do you wake up feeling calm, collected, and excited to start your day? Here's the little secret. How you start your day sets the tone and foundation for the rest of your day. A stressed morning creates a stressed, just reacting to everything day. A calm and connected to self morning leads to aligned and confident choices that help you reach your goals. So take a good look at your morning routine. What can you do to set up a healthy foundation for your day? To get some ideas and a sneak peek into my own Coffee with the Universe morning routine, go to www.coffeewiththeuniverse.net.
This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason, and I'm Patricia. And in this segment, we're going to talk about successful dieting and the biggest misconception about dieting. We use an ecosystem approach to you, which is much different than what you are commonly taught. We see human beings as ecosystems that need to be uncovered instead of programmed. Human potential becomes infinite with our ecosystem approach. Okay, Jason, what do you mean by the biggest misconception about dieting?
That losing weight will make you feel better about yourself. You know, and I can hear people in the audience, they're screaming at me right now, you know, and so put down the rotten apples just for a second here.
Okay.
So we know that it may give you a temporary boost. Absolutely. Sure. But eventually, because it doesn't change the inside, it doesn't change the energy on the inside, it doesn't change the energy.
And it doesn't change your story.
It doesn't change your emotional story.
Exactly.
So eventually that will bubble up to the surface. So no matter
by the way, it does.
How bad you were and how good you look now, it's not going to make those internal changes.
Well, because you can look good, but the bottom line is you're still angry.
Yes.
You're still you still have hate and fear.
So the first time you get a trigger for shame, unworthiness, or something that blocks your confidence, like someone says, oh, you did that wrong, or you screwed that up, or whatever.
Right.
Those feelings just come roaring back. Doesn't matter how good you look or not. Now, we're not suggesting that you shouldn't look good.
Not at all.
What we're trying to suggest to you is start with the energy first. And it doesn't have to be black and white. It doesn't mean you have to get rid of all that energy before you try and work on your health or weight. And frankly, our suggestion to you is always to work on your health first.
Absolutely.
You know, and not focus on your weight, but focus on your health.
Well, and we also know that when you do focus on your health, then the weight actually follows along.
Yes.
It's very interesting. In fact, I just need to say this. We both recommend exercising of some kind, minimum 20 minutes per day. Accumulation of 8 hours on the weekend is not what we're talking about. That's the first thing. The second thing is think about what you're eating and choose foods that you like, that taste good, but are not sugar or major carbs. And I'm not saying you have to give up carbs completely or even sugar completely, but sugar triggers the need for carbs and more sugar. It's a fact. We know it. It's a chemical reaction.
And if you're going toward sugar, you need to understand what those emotions are.
Exactly.
So you can clear them.
Right. And by the way, when I'm, back like I was talking about in the beginning, when I'm doing a major amount of, I've got hate going on, it's usually the hate that I've collected happens, it comes in, it attacks, I'll say it that way, because I'm being so busy taking care of everybody else. I'm not taking care of me. I'm not taking that 20 minutes or that hour to exercise. I'm not doing those walks in nature. I'm choosing the foods that are right there handy, as opposed to setting myself up for success by having apples and carrots and those kind of things.
You should get your confidence and power from your authentic self.
Correct.
Not from your physical body.
Well, and
the should is not a moralistic should.
Exactly.
It's an authentic should about how we're designed.
Right.
So if you start working on removing the things that take away your confidence,
right,
that's going to help you more than anything else.
Exactly. And, I want to go back to the apples and carrots and that kind of thing. Bottom line is I get great satisfaction in knowing that I have access to those things in the house. It matters.
This is kind of a side. I just thought about this, but we need to say it, that clearing can help you with your tastes.
That's a big deal.
We've heard for so long that, I don't want to eat bird food. I just, there's certain foods that I have to have, because those are really good foods. Well, your tastes change as you start to remove your negative emotions. Start to remove sugar. Sugar really
dulls your taste
buds.
Yes, absolutely.
And then there's a richness there, especially when you're focused on eating for sustenance as opposed to cope with your negative emotions.
Exactly. In fact, because I am the one who does all the food in this house, I do choose food to I choose it for the day. I choose it for what's going on for the day. And but the rules that I was trained with, that I'm talking about my story, going back to my story, that was never, ever a consideration.
I know there are a lot of people, and I'm aware of these people who have created a look for themselves where they're thin and they look healthy. But typically that's programming, and you're not dealing with your negative emotions, you're controlling them.
Right.
And it's hard to maintain as you age. It creates all sort of denial, perverse emotional behavior. We talk about eating disorders and things like that. You're always hungry, you're always feeling insecure, and you're feeling shame when you do gain weight. That's so insurmountable that it's almost life-threatening.
Yeah.
And it's really difficult. I have a story that I think will be
interesting. It's actually very interesting.
And I had a client one time who came to me and she said, I want to lose a few pounds. She wasn't heavy. She was attractive, a very intelligent woman. She had a PhD.
Mm-hmm.
And so we started working and doing some work together, and come to find out, her husband was going across state lines and gambling on a regular basis. And she felt lonely and abandoned as a result of him leaving. But then she eventually told me that he was cheating on her. He had someone he was having an affair with. And then he was gambling away money that they didn't have that they needed for the family. And then she was coming to me. Her solution was to lose a few pounds. OMG. I mean, I was flabbergasted back then. I see people think this way. And this idea that if only I look better. It is such a illusion.
Well, and
don't believe it.
People think that if they look good on the outside, that whatever is on the inside, they can cover it up by looking good.
We are full of a society where we paint over termites infested
to sell
wood
a house.
To sell a house, we do that all the time. Here's what I know, that if let's take that example, okay?
Okay.
If she had used she didn't stay with me for very long because it's not, she didn't really want to do the things she needed to do. But if she used the ecosystem approach, she would have cleared away the feeling of shame and hurt and unworthiness
and seen the relationship for the truth that it was.
Yes, and maybe either spoke up. Or left the relationship and said, hey, this isn't working for me.
Exactly.
In a way that was empowering for her. And I guarantee you, if she could have cleared away that negative stuff, it would have been easy for her to have a diet and lose some weight, but it probably wouldn't have been necessary because the confidence that she needed would have been there.
Exactly. So Anything else you want to say on this? You got it. So Jason, what are the key points of this segment?
Don't look to your body weight as a source of your self-esteem or confidence. When you understand your life in terms of your story and your emotions, you can prioritize what's important and what isn't.
Okay.
The biggest sabotage is to try and lose weight when there are bigger emotional issues. And the ecosystem approach teaches you to overcome negative energy in your life so you can put your health, well-being as a priority, which is as it should be. And that's the way that you're designed.
I love it. Absolutely love it. Okay, Jason, for those who don't know how to clear, I think that we can teach them how to do that. And then in the next segment, we're going to do some clearing around all of this.
Exactly. So this is how you remove the negative energy. This is not the time to go for that Suzy Q or that those M&Ms. Now's the time to get rid of those emotions that make you want to eat.
Okay.
And you can do that by sitting, standing. You can be walking. The posture is not important. You don't have to be reverent when you do this. All you have to do is you can slouch. That's okay. You can lie down. Doesn't matter. So your posture doesn't matter. So when we say and to eliminate, in your mind's eye, in your imagination, gather up those feelings that we say to eliminate, or veils and illusions, barriers, whatever we say to eliminate, gather those up in your body and blow them into a trash can. Now we use what's called the processor to process those negative emotions so they come out neutral. If you want a picture of that processor, Patricia painted it, and it's on our website, and you can go to our website, theecosystemapproach.org, and sign up for our free subscription service, and you can print that, you can download it and print it out, put it on your desk or table, and use that for your aid as we do this clearing. But in the meantime, you can use a trash can, or if you're driving or something, you don't have access to a trash can, use your imagination, blow it into a trash can, and it's really that simple.
Okay. And then after that, we're going to activate life force energy. Life force energy is the most powerful energy that any of us has access to. And we're going to call upon it. We're going to let it go in through the top of our head, all the way down our torso and our arms, and then all the way down our legs. We're going to stop it at the tips of our toes. We're going to turn it around, and we're going to use the power of that energy that you've pulled in for yourself, and we're going to get rid of any negative energy left over, because we know there is a lot of negative energy out there. Stay tuned. When we come back, we're going to start clearing the negative energy in your life. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.
We remember a time when you could simply form a thought and it would manifest. The harmony was forgotten, but it is returning now. The Power of Inspiration and Awakening Radio with Juliet Griffin on TransformationTalkRadio.com each second and fourth Wednesday at 9 a.m. Pacific. We'll take you on adventures through the heart and spirit, exploring who we once were. This intuitive healer studied under the guidance of wolves, learning from their wisdom to master a higher frequency for a new state of mind. Visit OneTrueSelf.com.
Hi, I'm Trish Laub from A Cup of Comfort, where we talk about Care Hero topics that nobody wants to talk about. Here's your Care Hero tip of the day. As a child, I took dance lessons. I would twirl through the grocery store, leap from aisle to aisle, and dance anywhere I could. One day, while giving my parents their medications, I realized that dance was my medicine. And when I took my medicine, I was more patient and focused, and my emotional and spiritual tank was filled with more of everything I needed to be a better caregiver and daughter to my parents. I realized that self-care was not selfish, but rather self-love, and that it was essential to my ability to be resilient and to recharge and thrive instead of merely survive. So now when I need to recharge, I turn up the volume and dance it off. What's your medicine? Tune into my show to learn more. See you the second and fourth Tuesday at 12 Pacific, 3 Eastern, here on Transformation Talk Radio. Feel free to reach out to me at info@trishlaub.com.
I have had such a good time on Tales from the Merworld Radio. It has been an opportunity for me to expand myself so dramatically and become much braver in my voice to speak about the things that I'm passionate about that are a little bit out there. Your staff is amazing. Olivia is amazing. Jessica, everybody. Anytime I need anything, they show up right away. So thank you for having such an amazing team that is allowing me this platform to do what Spirit wants me to do.
This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason, and I'm Patricia. And in this segment, we're going to start clearing the negative energy in your life so you can really help yourself with your diet and weight loss, if
and
that's
health.
What you choose, and health. Exactly. So, Jason, let's go.
I direct all my resources in all dimensions to eliminate the veils and illusions so I can see that losing weight will not give me real confidence. Gather up those veils and illusions.
Take a breath.
Blow them into that trash can, that
or
processor.
processor.
Yes.
And to eliminate the anger, hate, rage, and bitterness that gets in my way of my weight loss. By the way, that's a great big one for me. So I release and let go the negative emotions that are getting in my way, that are keeping me from the weight loss that I want. The weight loss that is healthy for me. Take a breath. Blow it out.
And to eliminate my fear of trusting that I can be okay using clearing as primary for my self-esteem.
Nice. Take a breath. And to eliminate the veils and illusions so I can see that even if I'm successful with weight loss, it won't last.
If I don't work on my emotions.
If I don't work on my emotions by using the ecosystem approach. Take a breath. And blow it out.
And to eliminate the barriers so I can keep clearing for good health instead of just weight loss.
Excellent. Take a breath. And to eliminate the barriers so I can see my true issues are emotional, not physical, meaning not your physical weight. That's not the real problem. It's your emotional problems. Take a breath. Or your emotional issues, excuse me. Take a breath.
And to eliminate the false belief that if my weight is good, the rest of my life is going to be okay. No, it's not true. Take a breath.
Take a breath. And to eliminate the veils and illusions so I can see that my life issues will always get in the way of my weight loss. Well, yeah. So clear those issues, clear those emotions. Take a breath.
And to eliminate my difficulty believing that weight loss will not make me feel better about myself long term. Boy, that's a tough one for people. It's really so ingrained that if you just look good, then you are good. It's not true.
Right. Take a breath. Blow it out. Here's a really big one. And to eliminate my compulsion to trust a quick fix programming methods because they seem like they're quicker. But the truth is, they're really not. It's just another reason for your negative emotions to get in your way. Take a breath.
And to eliminate, here's the big one. I didn't even write this down, but this is a big one. And to eliminate the shame that I feel, the guilt that I feel, the feeling of failure when my programming weight loss method doesn't work or I gain it back. It makes me feel even worse about myself. Exactly. It makes me have even more emotions I need to clear. So why don't you just clear the emotions first? Take a breath.
And to eliminate my fears and worries and anxieties that always get in my way for weight loss and about weight loss. Take a breath.
and to eliminate seeing myself as a machine that just needs to be programmed to lose weight. I wish we had background music. I could just see some, some techno music, or something. The truth is, everybody, we're not machines.
We are not.
And when we try and treat ourselves like a machine, it hurts our ecosystem.
Yeah.
It hurts the natural part of our existence in so many ways. It's hard to count. That's why we do the radio show. I'm kind of off on a tangent.
Yes.
Here.
Take a breath, everybody. And blow it out. Now, we're going to activate life force. And the number one thing I want everyone to activate life force for is the love that you actually authentically have for yourself. When you start doing this, what you find is all the hate that you have. Remember to activate the love that you have for yourself by using life force. It goes like this. I direct all my resources in all dimensions to activate life force, so I can love myself right where I am today and know that I can have the strength to let go of the negative emotions that are keeping me from being fit and happy and healthy. Take a breath.
And to activate life force so I can trust that I can lose weight if I work on my negative emotions and stressors in my life first.
Yes, take a breath. And to activate life force so I can have the determination to continue to clear my negative emotions that are in my life, starting with today. Take a breath. And to activate life force so I can be happy, healthy, fit, and love myself every day, love the body that I'm in, love myself enough to understand if I don't like something or if I hate something about me, I need to clear that emotion of hate first and then go from there, starting right now. By the way, and to activate life force so I can be creative and have hope and know that I can do this. Take a breath. Jason, what are we going to talk about next week?
This is one of my favorite topics. Favorite's probably not the right word. This is election time, and we have a divided country.
Yes, we do.
It's very personal to me. As a veteran, I was in a go-to-war unit. I was literally, I had made the choice to die for my country, and it's the fact that it's divided as it is.
The way that it's divided.
The way that it's divided is just deeply troubling to me. So, I'm a news hound. I watch the news, and many pundits are giving reasons for our divided country, but they're all ones that are just basically guesses.
Yeah.
I hear people saying, "Oh, I hope it's going to get better," or the optimists say, "Oh, it's going to get better. It'll get better." Blah blah blah.
Right.
But they don't really know.
Right.
As intuitives, we have a very unique view of the root cause and the real solutions that you can do. You personally, and if you're listening right now, can do to make this a better country and start removing that divide. It's not a quick fix.
Okay.
It's not super simple. It's not going to happen overnight, but you got to listen to the show because we're just going to outline it and
do some work with it.
Do some work with it.
Right. And
you won't hear this anywhere else.
Exactly. And by the way, I want to thank my husband on the radio. Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
It touches me.
Yeah.
Every time. Okay, Jason, why is the ecosystem approach so important to me personally?
I know this story about weight and diets, and everybody out there, if you're listening right now, chances are this affects you.
It does.
And if something that we said today speaks to you, if you're getting a little nudge, maybe if you don't even agree with it, but there's something inside of you that says, "Oh, there's something here."
Mm-hmm.
You get this little tickle, and that's your authentic self, and it's talking to you.
Right.
And we want that authentic self. We want to help you develop that authentic self.
Right.
And this is how you do it. You listen to our show every week.
Right.
You know, we're same time every week. Go to our website, theecosystemapproach.org, and sign up for our free newsletter and our free subscription service. There's all sorts of content on the free section. You can read up and understand what the ecosystem approach is, and it'll be really, really helpful for you.
Okay.
Listen every week, do the clearings every week, do the clearings in between, and just keep going.
All right. And what about Facebook, Jason?
You can go to our Facebook page, which is theecosystemapproach.org, and preview our next show every week.
Exactly. We'll connect next week, Monday at 1 p.m. Pacific and 4 p.m. Eastern Time. This is Transformation Talk Radio. You're listening to the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia.
Remember, your ecosystem is the most important one in the world.
Thank you for listening to the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia. I'm Patricia. Tune in every week as we discuss practical ways to apply the ecosystem approach and develop your potential to live your life on your terms. For more information, visit our website at theecosystemapproach.org.
Views expressed on this program are those of the host, guests, and callers, and do not necessarily reflect the views of the station, its management, or advertisers. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.